Hey guys, it's Mulligan, and welcome to episode 3 of Eternal Errors, a series where we analyze my misplays with, at least for the time being, specific decks. This week we are looking at Burn Queen, the deck that takes no skill to pilot, and yet people still make mistakes when they're playing it. So hopefully I can do the deck a little bit of justice with this video. The deck definitely takes more skill to play than what some players think, and can punish you if you play it on autopilot too much. Anyway, let's jump right in. So the first game we're going to take a look at is against KMFDM, who's on a Fire Time Shadow mid-range deck. And I'm going into turn 5 here, and I top deck a Champion of Chaos. And here, instead of deciding to use Obliterate on the Sandstorm Titan, I go ahead and just drop the Champion of Chaos instead, hoping that she'll come back to me at the end of my opponent's turn, even though it takes me a while to consider the two options. I think that if Champion of Chaos was still a 5/5, this would absolutely be the correct play. But because she's a 5/3, she's open to a little bit more removal than usual, namely not just Death Strike, but Torch. But now I think, thinking back on it, I think Obliterate was actually the better play to just get rid of the Sandstorm Titan, and instead of just plopping down the Champion of Chaos. Because in general, against mid-range decks, I think you want to remove the problem in front of you before actually trying to develop units, just in general. Because even against big combo, you generally want to do that. Now, it does depend on the situation at the end of the day, but in general, I think that's what you want to do against these type of decks. But yeah, I end up paying for it pretty big, and I end up losing the game. So this next game is against the Ski J, who is on Praxis tokens, which is not a favorable matchup for this deck. But I made so many mistakes this game, I honestly could have probably done the entire video on just this game. But I had multiple chances to get rid of at least one of his Sandstorm Titans with a Flame Blast, but I got so fixated on saving Flame Blast for face that I just never ended up using it, and the Sandstorm Titans just end up crashing in to me, and I lose way too much life, and even to the point where I actually choose to develop Cabal Countess at the end of turn instead of using Flame Blast to take out at least one of the Titans and try to preserve my life total. Flame Blast, you really do want to save it for face, but if it's the only combat trick in your hand and you can take care of a big threat that's stopping your offense, then you should probably do it. Finally, we've got a game against Mindcat85, who, judging on the cards that were played during this game, looks to be on Stone Scar Burn. I had no reason to reveal the shadow source I had on turn 3. It wasn't a huge deal here because there was already a pause in a previous turn showing that I had a fast spell. So he would think that it might still be Torch, but in general you shouldn't do that, so that way you don't reveal the rapid shot that you have in hand when you're playing this deck. The more interesting thing about this game is that towards the end, I had a chance to potentially end the game within 3 turns with all the burn I had in hand with the double obliterates, flame blast, and the same rapid shot from earlier. If I had set up lethal over 3 turns and chose to use both obliterates on Mindcat's face, then I would have been able to use flame blast for lethal as long as I used rapid shot as a burn spell for 4. But I chose not to do that. Now, that did mean ignoring the Soulfire Drake, which is very scary, given my life total. But I think that was the only winning line I had, especially since I had drawn almost nothing but burn all game. Now, it did end up not mattering because a Cabal Countess was ambushed in at the end of my turn, and I was hit with a lethal Flame Blast first. But it is good to think multiple turns ahead when you're playing not just Burn Queen, but any deck in general. If you have a chance to set up lethal over multiple turns, you should try to do it, depending on the game state. Mindcat was at 26 life, and I had 25 points of burn. Would you guys have tried to set up lethal over 3 turns and then just hope to get the 1 extra point of damage, given that the Grenadins don't get blocked? Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for this episode of Eternal Errors. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave a like if you liked the video, or feel free to leave a dislike if you didn't. As usual, if you have any ideas for what you want to see in this series, or just in general, just let me know in the comment section below. I want to go ahead and say that this is actually going to be the last episode of Eternal Errors for this month. I'm looking for the series to make a return in May, hopefully with a different format, but we'll see. And of course, I'd also like to know if there's anything I can do to improve my content as well for you guys. But again, thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Take care.